Alright, today we're going to take a look at a Chinese military ration from the PLA, or People's Liberation Army. I do want to mention that this one was sent to me by foreignmre.com. And at foreignmre.com you can find rations like this one, also stuff from England, France, Spain. What they have to offer depends on what they have in stock, of course. But the advantage of foreignmre.com is they do all the legwork for you and acquire these rations in large quantities and then sell them to you at a reasonable price. You also know that you're getting the freshest international rations you can find, and you're going to get them quickly and shipped fairly. As a matter of fact, they offer free shipping to US addresses. So go check out foreignmre.com and see what they have in stock. So this is my first time reviewing a Chinese ration. So I don't know a heck of a lot about it. I tried to use a little Google Translate and review some other reviews to get an idea of what I'm looking at. But this is a Type 13 ration. It's a one-man ration, a one meal, and it's menu number 1. I had mentioned that foreignmre.com gives you fresh rations, and this is actually one of the freshest genuine military rations I've ever had. It has a date code on the back, or it has a date on the back, date of manufacture of 27/04/01. So this is from April 1st, 2017. And I'm filming this in the middle of June 2017, so this is incredibly fresh. It's possible it could be January 4th, 2017, but generally the date goes month, day, year. So I believe this is from the beginning of April of this year. And as you can see, this looks kind of similar to a US MRE. We might as well go ahead and do a little straight-up comparison. It's a little bit smaller in size, but not too much, and it's packed pretty tightly. They're about the same weight. This one might be a little bit heavier, but they're a similar weight. And the main difference with these Type 13s is that an MRE is a meal ready to eat, and it tries to give you an entire meal. It's going to give you a main entree, a side dish, some snacks, some drinks, some desserts. So it kind of, you put it on a plate, it feels like you're eating a whole meal. And with these Type 13s, you're getting the nutrition that you would get in a complete meal. But it's a little bit more sparse. You're getting a lot of stuff, but not a lot of different packages. Apparently this right here is the menu, and I did a little Google Translate on that one. But according to foreignmre.com, what you're getting with this one is fried rice with meat and vegetables. I think it's also called assorted fried rice and soy sauce, pickled turnip, and an instant solid beverage. So basically you're getting 2 main dishes. In this case you're getting 2 fried rices. It seems like an odd combination for one meal to have 2 large entrees, and then just a small 20-gram package of pickled turnip and a beverage. And while you're not getting a lot of components in here, the individual entrees are both 320 grams, which is quite large. It's a little bit over 11 ounces, and considering that a US MRE has an 8-ounce entree, this is giving you 2 entrees that are quite a bit bigger than that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say about this before we go inside of it. It does have some nutritional information on the pouch, and this is giving you 4,940 kilojoules, which I have to admit I'm not really an expert on these things, but it looks like that translates to about 1,180 calories. If I'm wrong on that, I'm sorry, but this is apparently about an 1,100 calorie meal. It's also going to give you 39.2 grams of protein, 36.2 grams of fat, and 174.5 carbohydrates. And has a shelf life of 36 months or 3 years. And this is one of my favorite things about this. It does have a date of production on it. On the pouch it says date of production, see body bags. And I believe what it means is see the bag, and the fact that it's printed up at the top. This is a self-heating meal, and it does give you instructions for using the heater on the back. And now we'll go ahead and check out what's in here. This does not have a peelable seal, but something you don't see too often on rations, it actually does have tear notches on the outer bag. You usually see them on the inner bags, but this does have tear notches on the outer bag here. And you would tear it across the side here. Just for the sake of presentation, I'm going to go ahead and slice this with a knife just so I can take it out of the top like I'm more used to doing. So let's see what we have here. This is a really nice thing that they put in here. This is a little bag, and this is to put the water in to activate the heater, so you don't have to worry about measuring the water. It actually measures itself for you. And this would be the drink mix. It's 10 grams in here. I don't know how much water you're supposed to put into it. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably start with a small amount. You can always add more. If you have it too watered down, you can't really do much about that. There's some code on the back of here, I'm not sure what that is. And this would be the pickled turnip. And we have a little accessory pack here that, actually you don't even have to tear it open, it has a little seal on it. And all this has in it is a little napkin and a brown spoon. It's kind of flimsy. I'm sure it'll do the trick. And since it's brown, it does kind of look like a standard MRE spoon, but it is a little bit smaller and quite a bit flimsier. It's pretty lightweight. And then we have our two main entrees, and this is actually kind of neat. The pouch is in here. It's really pretty solid. And it comes in the flameless ration heater, so you don't have to worry about putting it in. All you have to do is open it up and add the water. So it looks like you open the top, add the pre-measured water, and fold it up and you put it into this little sleeve here. Little thermal sleeve. So that's kind of cool. And I guess there isn't really any need to look at what the individual entrees are until they come out, because they're both fried rice. One's the assorted fried rice, or the rice with meat and vegetables, and one is the rice with soy sauce, apparently. So let's activate these. Oh, the tier notch was a little bit too high on that one. Yeah, I guess there's no need to take them out of these little sleeves here. This one's torn. And actually, one more thing before I activate this. Another neat thing about these ration heaters is that they actually have heating elements on both sides. You could do that with a US flameless ration heater, but of course you'd have to use two flameless ration heaters to be able to put elements on both sides, because there is only one of them in the US FRH. Alright, it's not the easiest thing to get this thing measured without making a mess, but it is a pretty convenient thing. I'm guessing you're going to want to make sure the water is in both the elements. Wow, it's started up right away. Seems to be doing a good job. I think you can hear that. But I do just want to make sure I get water all through these elements. And I'll do the second one. And it starts right up too. Does not smell very pleasant. You hear a lot of complaints about the US ones, but this actually, it almost has kind of an egg or sulfur kind of smell coming off of it. But that's the price you pay for having a hot meal. So we'll lie these down and give these about 15 minutes to heat up, and there isn't really much else to check out, but we'll check out what else there is. Just a quick update. This first one I did is putting off a lot of heat. It seems to be working really good, making a lot of noise. The other one, it hasn't had quite as much time, but it's had enough time to get started, and it appears to have a leak in it. I don't know if the bags just aren't as sturdy as the flameless ration heaters and US MREs, but for whatever reason it doesn't seem to be heating up as much. But we'll give it the whole 15 minutes and we'll see how it goes. Alright, we're going to check out the beverage. It appears to just say it's an instant beverage, doesn't have any particular flavor, and it has ingredients, but it does not seem to tell you how much water to add to it. It is kind of a big pouch. I suppose you could add some water right into the pouch, but it doesn't seem like that would make more than a few ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into 8 ounces of water, kind of get us started. If it seems like it needs more, I can always add more. Let's see what this smells like. It's kind of hard to describe. It does not smell like a fruit or a Kool-Aid kind of a beverage. It's not like a really sweet smelling thing. It kind of reminds me of the little oxygen absorbers you find in a bottle of medicine. You know how it Makes the whole thing, especially when it has the cotton with it too. It kind of smells like that. It's sort of medicinal, which doesn't sound the most appetizing thing in the world, but let's see how it tastes. Makes a nice green color. And it mixes it pretty good. So looking at it, you might confuse this with a lemon lime beverage. We'll see how it tastes in a minute. And then we have our pickled turnip. I'm glad it's not pickled cucumber, because people would say, well, why are you not just calling it pickles? And it's because that's what it says. It says it's pickled whatever. You know, it's such a small amount. I mean, I'm going to use this as like a little side dish. Yeah, it smells pretty good. It smells kind of like sauerkraut. It smells a lot like sauerkraut, actually. But, yeah, I'm going to use this as kind of a side dish, but I didn't see any reason why you couldn't put this on your fried rice to boost the flavor. Maybe that's what it's meant for. Might try it that way, too. And there's 20 grams of pickled turnips. It's an interesting smell coming off there. It certainly seems to add some interest to the meal. And it's also the only other thing we're going to have on the plate besides the main dishes, so let's get to those. And these things are kind of sloppy. The little outer bag they give you gets kind of wet and slimy on the inside, and the whole thing feels kind of slimy in a way. And the bags do tend to leak. They're both leaking a little bit. But this one also got exceptionally hot, which is nice. And there's still a lot of heat in there. I didn't give it quite the 15 minutes, but I want to get to this. Wipe it down a little bit. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. This is very hot. It's kind of to the point where it's too hot to handle. And you can feel it is still kind of like a solid mass in there. So I think I'm going to do, since I know this is rice, I'm going to attempt to like break it up a little bit before I open it. I don't know if it'll make any difference or not, but wow, that's really hot. And this one is indeed the assorted fried rice. I wasn't really sure. Let's see what that looks like. As strange as it might sound, it smells hot. As there's so much heat coming off of this. I guess breaking it up didn't do much. It's still a solid mass. There is our fried rice with meat and vegetables, or assorted fried rice. And I'll check out the fried rice and soy sauce. Oh, that is hot. This heater did not seem to work quite as well. It's plenty slimy though. Just wipe this one down too. Here we have the soy sauce fried rice. Not a lot of information on here. And wow, this is even more of a solid kind of a thing. I'm going to see if I can condense this a little bit to fit it into this little tray compartment here. So that I thought that heater wasn't as effective, but it has had a lot of heat to it. It just compared to the first one, it couldn't give you quite the performance that the first one did. But I think this might be a little bit more flavorful of the two. Alright, this is obviously a ready-to-eat sort of a meal. These things could be eaten cold. They're certainly fully cooked in a retort pouch. So I'm glad that the heaters did seem to be pretty effective. Let's go ahead and try this stuff out. You can see we don't get like I said, we don't get a heck of a lot as far as number of components, but we do get a lot of food. And I think we'll start off with the assorted fried rice, or the fried rice with meat and vegetables. Obviously, anytime you have rice that kind of congeals and gets like a gelatinous sort of look like this, it's not the most appetizing looking thing. But let's see, I can see we definitely have some peas here, carrots, mushrooms. Looks like a white rice. I'm not sure the meat. There's some right here. It looks like it could be, I don't know, could that be chicken or? Not really sure if that's chicken or pork or beef. There's some more of the mushroom. Let's try and get a little bit of everything on here if we can. Seems like it's vegetable fried rice with the little small bits of meat that are in there. But certainly it's not a big surprise if you're going to get a meal from China that it would be rice-based. That's okay. It's a little on the bland side. It seems to have a little bit of saltiness with the rice, but not much. Not a lot of flavor. And having been heated up, you can see this is actually, it's getting tough. It's becoming like almost solid here. Pretty quick. I wonder if it'd actually be better cold, just as far as presentation. But it's definitely edible. It has a packaged kind of a flavor to it. Not very exciting. I mean, a lot of international rations, they seem to taste more like real food. This tastes very much like a ration entree, which is what it is, so it's fair enough, but just not too exciting. But that rice, you can feel it's sticking to your ribs. It's going to fill you up. Eating these two 320-gram dishes is definitely going to fill you up. I'm not tasting too much of the meat. I think I see a little bit more of it here. There's not a ton in here. Seems like there's more vegetables than meat. More of the peas, more of the mushrooms, carrots. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's meat in there, but not a ton. Ironically enough, I would say this could use some soy sauce. Which brings us to the soy sauce fried rice. And this looks, I guess it's just the soy sauce, this looks a bit more like fried rice. The other one, it really did basically just taste like white rice with all that stuff, and it didn't really have like a fried rice kind of flavor to it, which is fine, but it was a little bit bland, and I'm expecting this to be a little bit less so. Yeah, and this is it has that packaged kind of flavor too. It's very much like a processed kind of a thing. And I'm getting a little bit of the soy sauce. Not as much as I expected. I thought it would be a little bit saltier. Let's see. This does seem to have meat in it too. Not sure what that is. It's kind of a meat. Oh, mystery meat. I mean, that could be chicken, beef, or pork. There's some good heat in the middle of this. Yeah, so overall, I'd say it does seem a little bit strange to have two fried rices as your main courses, but certainly not too surprising from a meal from China. And this isn't that much more flavorful. I think I prefer this. I like all the vegetables that are in that one, but this does have a bit more flavor, but it does have that artificial kind of feel and taste to it. Quality, I guess you'd say. Especially since it's so fresh, you would think there'd be a little bit less of this gelatinous nature to the rice. But they're both pretty good. I mean, so again, it is a bit of a surprise to get two really large dishes that are both rice-based. But as you can see, you're not getting much else, which pretty much brings us to the pickled turnip. We should try that out too. It does have a bit of a smell, kind of like pickles, but it's like I said before, it's more like sauerkraut. Yeah, and like I said, I don't know what the purpose is, but it's like a really strong taste to this. There's kind of a vinegar kind of a taste to it, and I think it really makes a lot of sense because of the blandness of the entrees. It makes a lot of sense to add it into it. Yeah, that helps it. I think if you were to like chop this up kind of fine and put it in here, it would be really good. That goes a long way. It's nice instead of having like a hot sauce to change the flavor. This really just seems like it's an extra ingredient, and it really does add a lot to it. I think that's the way to go. Kind of bland, but then quite good. It adds some crunch. It adds some much needed saltiness to it. And there's a little bit of liquid in here too, which I think would help too. Yeah, that's good. This is good on its own, but it almost seems like a waste of all that flavor to not mix it in with these things that are kind of bland. Now let's try that instant beverage. We had mystery meat in the entrees, and we have mystery beverage here. It doesn't really have a flavor. I don't know. I don't really pick up anything off of this as far as a flavor, either fruit or something else. Could be something traditional Chinese in there. But it basically kind of tastes like you took one of those vitamin C tablets, those effervescent ones, and dropped it into a glass of water. So I'm sure this is giving you a lot of good nutrients. And it is something more than water, but it's not very. It doesn't taste very good, to be honest. And I only mixed it with 8 ounces of water, so it doesn't seem like I watered it down too much. Maybe it's only supposed to have 6 ounces. I don't know. But not too much to say on that. It's not very flavorful. At the same time, one of the complaints about the U.S. drinks is that they're way too sweet. This definitely isn't. It's not very sweet at all. And I think we covered everything. So that was a look at a Chinese People's Liberation Army, PLA, Type 13 Self-Heating Ration, menu number 1. And this came from foreignmre.com. Big thank you to them for sending it along to review, and thank you for watching.